Hello, hello. Welcome to our second stream of the Skilllessness channel. Today we have some few more people joining us who want to learn Flutter. Shall I do the introduction or will you guys chime in?
Yeah, I'll start. I'll go first. So I'm pretty sure you do not know me, and I am Sanjeev. So I am enthusiastic. I am an enthusiast who wants to learn Flutter, and that's it from me. I would like to give the floor to Makai to introduce himself.
Yes, this is Makai. Everybody knows me by my second name, which is Makai. Hello.
Hello, this is Santanu, and I want to learn everything that's related with code. So here I am.
Yeah, and for today I will be the Flutter instructor, let's say. Mm, if you have watched our previous videos, uh, we currently have 0 peers, so let's wait till our friends join in maybe. Or should we just proceed? You can always watch the recorded content later anyway, so maybe we should just proceed.
Yeah, I think we should proceed.
Yeah. So if you have watched our previous live stream, then you have already learned how to install Flutter and get it running in a Windows machine. The instructions are similar if you have a Mac or a Linux device. Just follow along in the provided links. Today, I want to teach my friends and our viewers how to build a tic tac toe game in Flutter. So for that, we have created a repository. Uh, I already have the repo clone, so maybe if one of you can share your screen and show our viewers how to clone the repository. The repository link is also in the description. Also should be in the description of our video. Yes, it is live. Maybe we can also put it in the chat or something. Anybody want to start the live stream and clone the repo?
Yeah, Makai should be starting
Yep, I
his.
will share screen.
Mm,
Let me open up my terminal.
wait, I think I should add a stream to the stream. Add a screen to the stream. Okay, I think we are good. Maybe you can increase your font size a little. The best.
You call me Makai.
Call me Mokai. Okay, brother. Uh, can I use online simulator? Well, please. You should be able to. Sanders Sukubate has asked a question. You could use dartpad.dev, but you won't have control over where to build and deploy the apps. Maybe I'll say the dartpad.dev link. There it is a official Flutter playground, a Dart playground. You paste your Flutter and Dart codes. I'll share a simple counter app made in Dartdev, which you can run it in the browser. It will compile for the web, and you can just view the UI. But later on, we will, if we have the time, we will also deploy this Tic Tac Toe game in GitHub Pages. For that, you must be able to install it, Mr. Sukmat.
Okay, so I'll proceed from here. So this is the Flutter repo that you guys created in the previous days. I'll just clone this. Basically, it would be better if you could use the SSH cloning, but I prefer to use this one because I haven't set up my terminal like that. So let
Not
me get
yet,
into a
anyway.
folder.
He will
Not
do
yet.
that. He is a
Yes.
very good coder. I promise you that.
So let's remove this because I think I already had it. Git clone. Okay. Folder. Okay.
Okay, I should also let the viewers know that we are doing this purely live and we haven't rehearsed this, I should say.
Not
We
scripted.
only have a simple idea of how we want to proceed with this teaching learning session. So you can see us developers try and solve the problems as they come, and it is a little bit more, I don't know what's the word, lively, I guess, just like in real life it would be. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you see in the Markdown or the GitHub repo, there's also a video. I I there's the first one link. Philip Rasek. Uh, this is one of my inspirations in Flutter community. He is a actual official part of the Google. He was a official part of Google Flutter framework, and you should, if you are learning Flutter, then you should probably subscribe to him. Yes, and he is one of the. He was the originator behind boring development. So in the official Flutter YouTube channel, which is a similar kind of show where two Flutter developers work together to build something. Our live stream is also somewhat similar in that aspect. So here he tries to build a simple tic tac toe game in under 10 minutes using Flutter. So let's just try and copy his code for now, and I will explain what the code does. In the video, he also does explain how the what he's thinking while he's doing the coding, but it isn't very beginner friendly. So I'll try to explain it as much as possible to our beginner friends here. You can you have another monitor, yes? Did this Makai?
Yes. Yes. So are we copying pasting his documentation or what?
Yeah, we should start like that, I guess. Just play it on the side and write some code. Write whatever he is typing, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe we should have really thought this through, but I think it will work for the first time. I think in the video he just deletes it all at the first. Yeah.
He does it too fast, so bear with me,
Maybe
people.
slow it down and just
Settings, playback speed 0.5. Yes.
he is one of the fastest typers, I should say. After Santanu, who was here, but seems to have left the stream for now. So in Flutter, if you don't know, everything is a widget, and you have already missed some key things. Maybe I should do it.
Okay.
You might have a hard time following along with the video.
Okay,
I'll just
that would
code
work
along
better
with
to
you
me
and
as well.
try and explain as much as possible. That repo seems to be private. Is it private? We did make it public, no?
Sure, Santanu wants to join in.
Oh, you can leave, but you cannot join again, I guess. Like, you can just commit this and I will pull. Then, yeah. Or,
Sorry?
do you think you will be able to just do all of
Yeah,
those?
I think
Or should
I
I do
think I
it?
can follow along with this guy.
Yeah. Is the repo private or public? Can it is public? It is fine. Mr. Suku, which repo do you think? Uh, did the YouTube description mess up the link or something? Go to site. Oh, sad. Uh, the YouTube description seems to have minimized the link. I'll try and fix it. Just give us a moment. Uh,
Oh, we
you,
forgot the
you should
main
have been
part.
able to go to the repo from the comment I posted, Suku.
Siri, how do I
Yeah.
run this in my Android device?
Hmm.
Is the command?
Is it not running? You just go to terminal and Flutter run. Should do
Oh,
it.
not Android. Run.
4 of 0% seems to be fine. Is this link not working? Flutter Tic Tac Toe. It should be in the comment box as well. Let me try and pin the message. This is pin. See the pinned message. And the link seems to be broken for some reason. Save.
I edited the description, so it should be working now.
Yeah, I also changed it. So let's see. Let's see. It should be working
Oh
properly.
no, I can't share my screen on this, right?
It is still minimizing the link for some
Right
reason.
now overflowed by 355 pixels.
Don't worry about the errors. I will try and fix those.
ADB
Uh,
devices.
mm,
Filter.
maybe this wasn't the right approach on how to start. Uh,
Everybody look, this is my iPhone.
yeah, that's a rich man's poor iPhone.
You don't have an iPhone. In the meanwhile, I'll just copy along with this guy.
Maybe you should ask any question where you are thinking, oh, what is this code I am writing? No?
Outline button. We're basically putting in text on the screen.
I have no idea what's going on, so I might need a, you know,
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
comment one
ADB
minute. Okay,
devices.
thanks, Mr. Sukubatu.
How do I run this on this simulator?
Trying to
You
just
remember
run
something
or
to
doing. probably won't run because there are syntax errors.
The
Line
outline
number
button is
81, last you have two columns there. You should probably remove one of the columns. Yeah. And child, there was a child.
Uh, Running Xcode build. Okay, let's wait for this to build. Why is this giving like blue underline? Prefer const with constant. Constant.
Yeah, we will fix those errors. Let's just leave them for now.
Okay.
Sukubatu has again asked another question. Can I install app in that simulated iPhone? Can you?
Yes.
We don't
Yes.
have macOS. We are
Yes.
poor man's poor iPhone.
Look
That
at
we
this.
have no iPhone.
If you are watching Sandesh,
Yeah, those
what
are
is
fine.
that
We will
stripe
all fix
lines at
all
the
those.
right
That's
that
now,
is
just
done
an
across?
overflow indication. We have tried to draw things that aren't that that take up
More
width
than the screen size.
more than our screen size. Yeah.
ah,
In the video too, he turns it into portrait mode for to combat that, I guess. Yes. We can try. We'll also try to make this responsive.
okay, we'll do
But
that in
first,
a
we
while.
just want to do some very bare bones coding, very, and follow along with the video source first. If you are also a beginner, you can also try and follow that video and just try to do it yourself. We can also put that video's link in the comment chat box. I will do that right away. And also, we are trying to make a Tic Tac Toe game because one of the first apps our Makai friend published to Google Play Store was a Tic Tac Toe game, but it wasn't made in Flutter. And now he's here doing it all over again in Flutter, copying someone else's code. Sorry for that noise.
Sorry for my background noise, guys. Nepal problems. And doesn't it like auto indent and like prettify things by default?
It should have done that. Maybe you missed
Have
off
video installed.
your.
Format and
Do you,
save.
uh, no, you don't need video. No one do that. And did you not install Flutter and Dart extensions?
I did. I think there is,
Okay,
but
let's maybe you have Flutter for okay Prettier for all the formatting. Just go to Prettier bottom right and change the default formatter. I guess. Why is it saying Prettier though? Uh, just
that's
control
control should
command shift
be.
C, format document and choose the Flutter formatter. Format document with configure default formatter and choose Dart. Yeah, I think that should now do it.
Nope.
No.
No.
Then also again command shift P. Maybe you forgot to use the recommended Dart recommended. Is this recommended? Use recommended settings. Now say
You will return to the Dart section of the settings file.
yeah, it just writes some autocomplete and different settings for
Format
formatting.
concept.
No,
Nope. Should I
No,
like close this and open it again?
maybe we can try that. Yes, of course. Looks like this is gonna be a long one, but it is fine as we will learn things as we go, and maybe hopefully our next streams will be much smoother.
Smoother.
Yeah.
Nice. Yep. Still not working.
I did not work. Just
Format
format document.
document with. Yeah.
Okay, it still didn't format your document for some. Maybe you have an error that is stopping from being formatting information.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
problem section. Oh, that's you have missed the semicolon.
Ah, okay. That's why
If there
kids
are
don't
syntax
stay
errors,
with
yes,
JavaScript.
it doesn't know how to format. Yeah,
Don't stick with
correctly.
JavaScript, boys.
Mm.
That's what happens.
And
Where
also,
was I?
let's try and add a comma after 91, line number 91, Z or O before that parenthesis. Commas in Dart are very important
Why?
because they help the formatter know where to break things. Let's say.
So if I remove
It
this.
looks a little bit
Ah,
uh,
okay.
messed up. The format just keep on adding more commas and
It
not
doesn't
like
work
that.
like that.
But after parentheses and those brackets, yeah.
Okay, where was I? Okay, this guy do.
If
Siri, can
in
you
case
can you
we are
walk
already
through us to whatever is done right now?
yes, we have only created a grid view that shows all access for now, and there are logic of if there is a logic that says how to write those X's and O's.
Okay,
Our
wait,
logic are
just
all
just hold on. Okay, would you mind scrolling a little bit up?
Give me 1 second. Center style text. Scroll up.
Yeah. So
yeah.
we return the scaffold, right? What is scaffold at line number 74?
Scaffolding is just, in a general sense, scaffold is something that helps you build buildings, and in a Flutter world, scaffold is uh, a bare bones widget that provides some default placeholders, such as the app bar property and body property. There's also a bottom navigation bar property in the scaffold. Scaffold should
Basically, a
generally be
skeleton then.
the first widget that you draw in any particular screen while working with Flutter, but you can also skip scaffold if you don't want.
I think this was discussed in our first live stream,
Yeah, I
where you
forgot.
can
So
just skip this and like
If
make everything
if
your custom
in the
made.
scaffold, yeah, yeah, and it also provides safe area widget, I think.
Yes.
So what that does is in the icon simulator there are notches. If you remove the scaffold and just try and create a default text widget, then it will try to take up the space in that status bar too. But since scaffold is wrapped with safe area, it will only draw things in the safe area. So it will try and also avoid the bottom gesture thingy, yeah, in the iPhone, yeah. If we didn't have a scaffold, then that floating action button would probably be very much down or below, uh, overlapping with the gesture heel,
oh,
what
so
it is called in
okay,
iPhone. But
yeah. So
yeah,
we have it takes the
it
first
is a
argument
very
is the
useful widget. Yeah.
so the first
Okay,
argument
you
it
can.
takes is the app bar. The second argument is the body, and what's the third argument? Can you
Floating
minimize the
action
screen?
button.
Floating action button. Yes, it provides such things. If you can look up the documentation in material.io too, it's kind of a material thing. If you are trying to make your app look like a native iOS app, then there's also a Cupertino scaffold. Yeah, and if you can control space, you don't have that shortcut. Yes,
No.
I. Let's go to the key bindings and see what you have for control space or command space. In yours, it just opens Spotlight. I think.
Yes. Where do I go to
And
key
it is very
bindings?
useful shortcut.
Key shortcuts. Press
Key
Ctrl Shift
binding.
P.
We just want the recommendations, right? Or
Just
Suggestions. Yeah.
it will start a auto complete thing. Not fixing. Just open keyboard
uh,
shortcuts and search for trigger suggest.
key bindings.
Control Shift P keyboard keyboard shortcuts. Yeah. Open keyboard shortcuts and search trigger is suggest.
Trigger suggest.
Uh,
Wait.
what is that symbol?
Option escape. Okay.
No,
So
I don't think.
yes.
Is it options? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I
Okay.
need to change that.
Let's go to the open parenthesis of the scaffold and see what parameters it has. Then maybe it will help us
My
understand what the scaffold does. Those are all the suggestions of, yeah, the Flutter documentation is very good. If you just control click the scaffold, then you will go right into the source code.
do we want
That
to
may
put?
be a little overwhelming
I think
when you
these
are
are it, right? Like the
beginners.
app bar, body, floating action, body location,
But that is a little
persistent footer
not so
buttons.
familiar view, not so easy view to. So let's just uh, command key option space at another position.
The hell did you do? Scaffold.
Yeah, let's go to the end of the scaffold and press that helpful shortcut again. It
Full
is
shortcut.
control space in Windows for our Windows viewers. It will show a list of all the things that the scaffold can take, all the parameters, and also the documentation of the scaffold.
Responsive layout. Material design. Sca-
I don't think this is the actual scaffold documentation, but okay, you can close this for now.
Is the spelling correct? Scaffold.
Scaffold. We have also made scaffold in Minecraft. No, that
Okay.
thing where we climb up and build houses.
I'll just go here.
That
Why
is
is
the
it
same documentation that is shown in when you press command space or whatever your shortcut was.
app bar, background
All
properties, oh,
this was also there.
methods,
I think we can
binding.
skip this if it is
We
going to
can
take
we
a
can
longer
go
time.
hunting some other time maybe.
Okay, let's
But
close
just
this.
know that it is a very helpful user, and most of your beginner work will start with creating a scaffold at the very first step of the
Okay, so
of
I
your
this will also be
beginner thing.
Android friendly, right?
Yes,
Okay, so
just
what
follow.
else? So the title is the title that we have on the app bar.
Yes,
Okay,
and it provided in the above
can
space
can
bar.
we remove the text and just put a string there?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Why not? It just takes a string. Sanjeev's app. Sanjeev's Tic Tac Toe maybe.
Isn't this where it's
Uh,
supposed to change? Did I close it? I
no, no.
missed.
You ran it from the terminal, so you will have to restart it also.
Oh, okay. That's a big mistake then.
You can
Mm,
also run it from VS Code, then it will auto reload. Yeah, run and debug.
It will hot reload.
And if you want to change, you have currently the OnePlus device selected in your VS Code in the bottom right. You should probably change that so that our viewers can see it running in. Yeah.
Do I change it to another iPhone
iPhone
tab?
13 or Chrome. You can also build for web, and we'll probably only deploy this app to web and not to
We can deploy.
Apple
We can
Store.
deploy it to the Google Store if we want.
You it probably ran in your mobile phone. First, just
These are
stop
debugging tools. We
debugging
don't know.
and run it again, so that
Ah,
the iPhone 13 is detected. It ran in your phone, yeah,
let me
and
see.
so the same overflow either, I guess.
Yes.
Just stop the center. Yeah. Now we have the iPhone 13 selected. Now if you run and debug, then it should run for the simulator.
In the meantime, while it is running, so what is the first? Yeah. So what is the row doing in the body? The line number 80.
I think
The
this is
body is
basically like the.
everything
Yeah.
below the app bar. All the white space is the body, and row is just row. It aligns. It takes a children parameter, and the children is a list of widgets or things to draw in the screen, and all those particular widgets are drawn in a horizontal arrangement because
So row
rows
is
are always
basically
missing.
the similar to row in Bootstrap then.
Yes.
Yeah,
So how do you define the height of the row, or it
the height
automatically
of the
calculates?
row is just calculated automatically based on the children's, or you
Oh,
can wrap it with a size box or a container and provide it with a particular height. But we are directly using the row in the body, yeah. So in Flutter, the size constraints are a little bit difficult to understand at first, but there will come a moment when it just clicks. The children will always be as big as their parents allow is a common concept in Flutter. So since the body is all of this white area below the app bar and above the there's some padding around this gesture detector peel, and since the body is all of the white space, the row's height will also be as big as all the white space. And if we don't want it to be as big as possible, then we can do some things like wrap it with a size box and give it a particular height or some other things. We'll see that after we finish coding along with Liprasek. And now he's just uh, writing logic for the Tic Tac Toe AI. It's a very simple AI. We can't even call it AI really. It just it
AI
helps.
is always a bunch of fixed conditionals, so it is
Yeah,
an AI.
it is AI,
For me at least.
not some machine learning type of AI, and not a very optimal solution AI. So you can beat this Tic Tac Toe AI.
Oh, it's a.
Maybe we should have just had a completed version of this uh, clone process, I guess. The AI our friend Makai made for his original Tic Tac Toe game in Unity was a unbeatable AI, and this is not it. Maybe we'll
And I
try and
claim that,
implement that kind of AI
and I still claim
somewhere
that
in
if
the future.
you beat that AI, I'll give you $1,000.
No, but it is just not possible, as Tic Tac Toe is a, I don't know what they call it in AI world, perfectly solvable game or something like that, where the AI will always find a way to not lose. Perfectly solved problems, I think. And there are some red lines in the is winning function because the is winning function hasn't yet been written or coded, and we will do that. The person in the video will do that, and our friend Makai will also code along with that. So let's just wait for now. And here you will see a very uncommon syntax. Maybe it's also in JavaScript. Yeah, the
Yes,
double
yes.
question mark.
Yeah,
It is
it's called,
Non-correlation operator.
yes.
yeah. It is if our viewers don't know it, it's a operator that if the winning variable is null, then it will search for blocking variable, and if the blocking is also null, then it will go to the normal variable's value. The move will be assigned. At first, it will try and assign winning, but if that is null, then it will go to blocking, then to normal. But I think the normal can also be null, so he's checking for that as well. And this is the nice thing about Flutter being a statically typed language. He just use control dot, command dot, I think, yeah.
Yeah, just
And he
suggestions,
made
auto suggestion.
and there was a suggestion to create that function which was missing, and that function is already created with the actual parameters he was passing them. So the I is already the Dart analyzer can infer the I is should be a int because that is what we are passing in the unimplemented is winning function, and they were returning bool. So the function signature is automatically inferred with just simple click.
Oh my, why does he have so many conditions?
The logic is just if I am blocking the if I okay, I'll try and explain the tic-tac-toe logic later on. Here we just check the grids and whatever is.
Five,
Here we are just checking for all the winning combinations. Just a second. 0, 1, 2,
six,
2, 3, 4, 5. If
seven,
the tiles in the first 0, 1, 2 list are same, then someone is winning. If the X is same, then X is winning. If O is same, the O is winning. Uh, there are total of how many cases? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Three
zero.
horizontal winning combination, three vertical winning conditions, and two diagonal winning conditions. So we have to check for 8 conditions.
What? One, five,
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first three conditions are the
zero.
horizontal winning conditions.
Another should be zero. This is two. Two, four,
5,
two, four. This is diagonal.
yeah, this is diagonal. Yeah.
Five, six. Oh, zero, one, two,
Then
three, four, five, six. Yes.
0, 3, 6, 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8.
Zero, three,
6,
six,
1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8. 4,
four, seven, two,
I bet
So what is this who variable actually?
it
I
is
think
just
this is being
who
passed
won.
from this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the into is who is the player number, I guess. He uses 0 for nothing, 1 for X, and 2 for O, I think. Yeah.
246
No, can be whatever.
048 246
Yeah, it is correct. I have
036.
checked it. Visually verified.
Be like Siri. You don't need
There
to
are
test.
still
You don't
problems
need to
with
register.
the code. The red. There should be because the main. Yeah, in line number 24, you have missed the semicolon.
Semicolons very important. Don't be like
Now
JavaScript.
the code main the dart is not red, so it should run. But did it? It is still mad about that overflow thing. Uh, I think this is all the code. Yes, all the
No,
code.
there's still left.
You're still there?
There's still
Oh,
some
oh,
left
but
at
we
least.
only wrote the function, but we haven't used it anywhere.
Main axis alignment. Main axis
Yeah,
alignment.
and column is similar to row, but it draws the children's or the list of widgets provided in the children parameter in a vertical arrangement, uh, as opposed to row, which draws the children's in horizontal arrangement.
Is winning
And
player
we
2.
also use a grid view builder widget to draw the actual game board of Tic Tac Toe. And grid view is a combination of both. Let's say it will arrange the children in a grid, and we have made a 3 by 3 grid. If we look at the code of
Sorry guys, just
that,
give me
I
one
will
second.
okay.
हजुर मामा
I will meet you back.
हजुर
You need to mute yourself.
No, no, I have already muted him. As yeah. Sorry for the silence while he's in the call. Let me just explain about the column main axis alignment thing that he has typed in line number 106. Uh, Main axis alignment. Yeah. Row and column both have a main axis and a cross axis in Flutter. The main axis is the one where the widget lays out his children. So for the column, the main axis is the y-axis because the column lays its children in the particle direction or particle arrangement. But if we are working with a row widget, then the main axis alignment would have been the x-axis or the horizontal axis. And we can also provide the main axis size uh, but not and the cross axis will be just the opposite. If the main axis is x-axis, then cross axis will be the y-axis. uh, in the line on 106, we have set the main axis alignment to main axis dot space around. And what that does is just adds spaces in the around the children so that the column can occupy as much space as possible. and the space around the property will uh, just add divide however much space is available. So the space between the children can be bigger, as in it will provide the same amount of space above and below the children. So the space between children is twice the size of the actual space around the other components. I suppose. Can I unmute you, Vidya?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. We can try and change the space around thing
I
to.
think this is not being rendered. At least the restart button for now. I don't know why.
Oh, let's take.
But like, if this is finished, this should come up. Like the button should change, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
or move
Restart
offline.
field 900. How do I refresh this? Or do I close it and open it again?
Can you just reload from the PS code, maybe?
R? Yeah.
No, from the buttons. Okay,
Have restart. Okay.
just
Escape. Click.
and restart, right?
You won. I didn't win. You won.
Hmm. Here is winning seems to be not working properly, I guess. Or have you not created? Okay,
Did I miss something?
let's just push your code and I will try and debug
Okay.
from there, and also explain all the things that we have written so far. We should probably have done this beforehand.
I'll just push it to main.
Yeah, it's fine. Uh,
Okay. Yes.
do you have the
You
permission? Yeah.
scroll.
We have another big fan in the chat. Appreciate it, man. Justin Karki. Okay, let me begin share my screen. Um, did it stop yours?
Sanjeev?
Yeah, I think.
I am
Wait.
here actually. I'm following. I got a message, so I am following in the video.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Okay, let me just pull your comments. And I should probably increase my digits here. No. Yeah. Where do I have this thing? Skillessness for the detector. Already up to date. Is it already up to date? I
It should
guess.
not be. Did you pull it just now?
Yeah, yeah, it did pull
Oh,
the PS code.
you can
I
just check
didn't
the
show
code.
any messages, so I thought it did. It.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me take over. from my friend Makai. Mm, First of all, let's just delete all these comments because they are the default comments and they are in our way to learning about all the code that we have actually written.
Maybe
So
was it just my screen bad, or like you have the comment there like slash theme data, right?
yeah,
That is auto generated only, right? In line number 15, 16.
yeah, this is auto generated. This just shows where the theme data ends
Can
and
you
your
copy that?
material app ends. You cannot copy that. It is just uh, I don't know overlay thingy from VS Code. This should also be available for Android Stereo.
Mhm.
Sorry if you can hear the dogs barking. um,
Go pet
okay,
him.
we have previously discussed that the Run app is the one which will draw the first frame of Flutter, um, and it will draw this My App widget, and everything that Flutter draws in your screen is a widget. So the My App is a stateless widget, and it draws a material app. The material app, as we have discussed previously, provides certain nice things. Uh, it will configure a default theme for you, and also how to lay out the text and other stuff, and also about the navigation. If you have a multi-page widget, then you can also do something like routers. Yes, this was the view I was trying to get from Makai. These are all the parameters of the material app widget constructor. And you can also, if you press that same shortcut again, then you will get this detailed view which describes what this action actually does. And builder, there are different properties, color, dark theme. You can also specify a dark theme for the app, eye contrast theme, initial route. If when you're working with multi-page widgets, then you will use this initial route, and there's also routes on generate route. Yeah, so it just provides some nice little things to work with to make the working with Flutter apps easier. And there are also different kinds of app, but the material one is the one you will use most if you are following the Google Material Design system. And this is a stateless widget, but this my homepage widget is a stateful widget. That is, it can carry some stateful data that will change and redraw the whole widget. Okay, let me run this.
So
We
state,
could also,
state variable is like variables that persist between renders, right?
yes, that process between users and that can change over time during the life cycle of the widget. Stateless widget cannot have any stateful uh, um, any data that will change on the lifetime. So if I try and say there's a string title in this Flutter widget, I think that's two, Tic Tac Toe. Then first it won't let me create this string as there is a red underline. Red means it won't compile. Yeah. So if I change this to my app, if I remove the const, it will work. But okay, but this variable changes will not. I don't know how to say. It shouldn't have worked. uh, you cannot change this title variable and expect this stateless widget to redraw itself. You know what I mean? It is a little bit difficult to explain, but yeah.
I think that is basically like, hello.
Yes, yeah, we can. Use it.
That should be basically like the state variables used in React or any other things. I don't think
Yeah,
there would
but
be any
but
difference.
may not, no. Yeah, it is
So
similar.
basically,
I also come from a React background, but I only experimented with it a little bit. If you have concepts of reactive programming, then it is similar, yes.
So basically, what happens is, like, if the app is running, then the state of the variable or whatever you have in that state should be preserved until you close it.
Yeah.
So basically, that's the same logic.
In
What's happening in the
in
background
this
there as well.
stateless widget, we don't have a set state parameter. Yeah. But in stateful widget, there is a state property. It creates a state of this widget, and
So
this
like,
is a final variable. That is, this variable will not ever change once it is assigned. Uh, yeah. And this is the state we created, my homepage state. And for this to access this title variable, we will have to take the help of the widget parameter, that is widget style, and the widget has a title property and a key property. Key is Keys are a little difficult concept to explain, but if you want to learn about it, then there's a very good video in the Flutter official YouTube channel too.
we'll come
So
to
let's
that
not go
someday
about
as well.
let's not go to keys right now. And here we have a counter variable. This is redundant from the previous from the default Flutter app. We don't need this code either. And here it is warning us that the counter variable is not used anywhere. It has been incremented here, but this is a private function, so it is also, I don't think it is also not called anywhere. It is called, but it is still called in the floating action button thing. But the counter variable isn't used anywhere except only its value is changing, but the value is never used. So it is warning us. Yes, we should probably remove this. Okay, let's remove them. And now we can no longer have the floating action button. So let's remove that too. Uh, Let me just quickly set up my phone. Uh, Maybe I'll just run it in Windows. Let's not. Let's stop this. Let's just run it in Windows, I guess. Mm. So in the stateful widget, you can have variables that change over time, and once they change, you have to manually notify this stateful widget that the variable has changed, and you should probably redraw yourself. Such things aren't available in stateless widget. You Even though you could have created a variable and change this value, but that change won't be reflected. It won't redraw with with those changes unless you redraw the parent of this stateless widget by some other way. And the state variable has a tiles. It is, and let's just quickly go through how to declare variables in Dart right now while this is building. There are this par declaration is something like, I don't want to write the actual type of this variable, but you can probably infer it yourself. This is and this par will always be, once it is assigned, that variable can only ever be of the same type. So if I hover over the tiles, it is actually list of integers. because we have assigned it to list and which is list of length 9, which are all filled with integer 0. So all of the values of the list is 0, so it is a list of integer. And we normally can't do par tiles, because if I do par tiles, then it becomes the type of tiles becomes dynamic, and dynamic is JavaScript. And because dynamic is just it just neglects all the static typing that Dart offers. So it has basically it can be of any type. If you are familiar with TypeScript, then the dynamic type is the any type. Uh, so let's just undo that change. And if we had written list into ourselves, then the code is exactly the same. But we didn't want to write all this when we can just R. And this final is a type of declaration where once this value is assigned, it can't be changed. That is, mm, we cannot reassign any other string to title once we have already assigned title equals to Flutter demo. Yes. If we restart the app, we can obviously assign it. But now, if we try and do widget dot title equals to some other string, then it won't work because style it can be a it doesn't have a setter and it is already final. And another one is a const declaration, which just says the variable is constant and will never change, and you cannot assign it some other way. Uh, since this title parameter should be assigned in the constructor, this is final. But if we assign in class, these declarations will be a little different. So yeah, this just something like this, yes, and it overflows. This thing just work like it is not overflowing for now, and we will fix that. Don't worry. Mm, okay. So we have a list of tiles that are 9. The list is of length 9, and you can verify this by hovering over list field. So the first parameter is length, second is fill what the list will be filled with. Yeah? And this 0 means that all this list is empty for now. So and the 9 means 0 is this box right here. 1 is this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the total length of 9. Yeah. And we have the text here, the app bar. This app blue thing is the app bar, and we have inside the app bar Sanjeev's app. We can change it to this, yes, Tic Tac Toe. Uh, and the body part is all this white space. There we have a row, and if we add another comma, then it will auto format it so it looks a little nicer. And there we have aspect ratio widget. The row again has two children, I think. Yeah. Aspect ratio and a column. The aspect ratio widget means that it will try to be a square. Square, yeah. This whole grid is a square because the aspect ratio is provided with the value of 1, that is width and height of this box should be same. And this is the aspect ratio, then this is the column widget. And the aspect ratio, this square box has a grid view, and the grid view has a cross-axis count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and it has children's. And one thing about Dart is we can use collection for and collection if this is not available in TypeScript or JavaScript in the web world, I think. Or is it available? Can you confirm? Hello.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, this I don't think this are available in other languages as far as I know. But what it does is this box bracket just creates a list, and inside the list we can run some for logic and also if logic. This is something very interesting that I found while I first started learning Dart, and we can do this some other way also. But what we are doing is we have a total of 9 increments of the I variable, and we are just creating an inkwell. The inkwell is the when we click on this, the ripple that flows is a ink in Flutter. So inkwell is something which provides this kind of ink ripple effect, and also it provides a on tap parameter where we can specify what happens when we tap the click this inkwell, and all it is doing is set the state to one. uh, First, initially it is all zero, but when we click it, that value become one. Yeah, and one is x. One is x because we have made the code to be x. If we can change this to something else, and it will stay. It is a little confusing to keep along. And two is for the computer or CPU. That is, it plays as 0 or O. So uh, after we, and this will set the value of tiles 0. If I click here, then it will set the value of tile 1. Yeah. So let's just turn this into X, and then we run the AI. The AI, run AI function is just a sync function that will delay for wait for 0.2 seconds. That is 200
Sorry,
milliseconds.
can we give background color to the the inkwell that is currently clicked? The user just clicked. Can we just give it a background color? That way it will be clear, that the user has clicked. And can you also center the X button just
Yeah,
at the
we
center of the
can do
inkwell?
that. If we look at the inkwell, then there are different properties, but I don't think we can directly change the inkwell. Inkwell only provides uh, on tap and on other things that you can click. So in order to change the color, what we can do is wrap this text widget with a container, and container is a simple widget similar to HTML divs. You will while you are beginning with Flutter, then you will always use container to do almost everything. And the container has a color property, and uh, let's give the color. Let's copy this for now. We can always extract this color ourselves. This is colors dot white, I guess, and this should be colors dot green, and colors dot yellow, I guess. So this just makes it so that the tiles which aren't click are white. The tiles we click, that is the one, is green, and the tiles clicked by the CPU is yellow. And we can also center this child, and also probably change the font size of this. If we do center, then it just goes to centering, and we can change the font size by font style, size, font size equals to, I don't know, 21 maybe. One is doesn't look quite big, maybe 32. or even 40. Yes. Okay, I think now we can see the X's and O's clearly. Uh, Resize it. It still works, yeah. The aspect ratio is the widget that is making it all, I don't know,
Squares.
Square.
square. Square, yeah.
Squares, yes.
So if we have, yeah. So this is about the colors. 0 is unclicked, 1 is clicked by player, and 2 or any other is clicked by CPU. Yeah. So X's, O's, and the column is the this grayish part here, and it has some text and a button to restart the game. And if you restart the game, it just fills the tiles with all zeros again. It does work. So the AI, let's just
Why do they have
get
you
AI.
on
Huh?
you on text right after you click? I think it should be your move.
Oh, he's winning one tiles. You won. He's winning. Oh, Makai didn't follow along with the video fully, I think. The is winning function is a little messed up right now. In the video, he does fix it, but Makai didn't fix it. I think this should be not but and. Or I messed up.
Can you just teach me the shortcut how to select all the the double pipe that you just did?
Yeah, let's just select whatever thing you want, and then you will Control Shift L. Then it will just select all the who in this file, all the WS, and it will
What
also
was the
select
command again? What Control Shift L?
Control Shift L. Yes, in Visual Studio Code.
Okay.
But this also selects capital. You can also make it so. And here is something particular. There is a match case and match whole word function. And if you is right now, I just selected a is Flutter with a small f, and if I press Ctrl Shift L, then it will also select Flutter with capital F, Flutter demo. It will let's just delete this, no? And it will also select Flutter demo, Flutter which is in the middle of words. Yeah. And I uh, if I change these settings here, if I change it to match case, then it will only select Flutter with same case. So now if I press when I press Ctrl Shift R, it doesn't select all this. Um, and if I do match whole word, then it won't select Flutter from Flutter demo because this is in a different word. Yeah, no, see, it doesn't select Flutter in the Flutter demo.
Got it.
Shift L. Mm, what we want to do is these alls are fine, but the things in this should be control VB. So basically, what we can do is control G. You'll see. I have forgotten my shortcuts. Since let's this should be control G, control Alt. This should be and this first one should also be and. Now the logic works because as we discussed earlier, can I make this a little bit nicer looking? Maybe also. So 0, 1, 2 is this 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. If all these are uh, who who is one or two based on the player we are searching for. If all these 0, 1, 2 tiles contain 1, then the person has won. The one player has won. If uh, all this is 1, then also the one player has won. If all 6, 7, 8 tiles are 1, then also the one has won. So it should be and not or. Since it was or in the beginning, if any of this is 1, then the person is winning. So that was a little problem with logic. Uh, Now, if I restart, then it shows your move, yeah. And finally, you won, correct. It was always. These are some of the bugs. We will try and tackle them if we have time, or maybe in another stream or whenever it's viable. So the run AI function is called whenever we click, and the run AI function, what it does is waits for a few 200 milliseconds, that is 0.2 seconds, and runs all this code. So we have int what or int question mark is a nullable integer. So this winning variable can either be null or an integer, and same with blocking and normal. So we just create create a for loop and check for every possible combination. Mm, so while I styles continue, so it is only going to the tiles list, and if that value is greater than 0, that is that value is filled, then we continue, because uh, we can't override that. The AI can't override the value which is already occupied, no? So in the future, tiles, this syntax, this is just making a copy of the tiles variable, tiles list. So,
We
and
are copying that so that we won't mutate the state, right?
we won't mutate the actual tiles. This is just given okay.
I
It's
think it's called spreading operator.
spread operator. Yeah, I forget it. And it spread all the elements of tiles into a new list, because this box bracket creates a new list, and this dot syntax is just a, and in that new list perform this operation. This says uh, so future in the future. So let's how to explain. uh, it just goes through all the possible boxes, and the first box it finds, which is empty, it turns it into 1. So it's just, if in the future that box is occupied by the player, let's say, no? If and is that future winning or not? It just checks if that future is winning.
Uh-oh.
How to explain this better? Let me get a whiteboard, maybe. Putting start. Go to paint, I guess. So first, just Tic Tac Toe is a simple game, no? Uh, this is occupied, so it will go to the next empty space, and it just enters, uh, so checks that here is an X, and if that X is making the player winning, this is the future list. First, the list is just X, and the future list is uh, first here. Then it will check if it is winning or not. If that future is winning, then uh, the player will win in this index. So we want to block that, yeah. So future I
So we assign that index.
first he checks if we are winning. The two is the we person, the computer is person. Uh, so first he checks if this position first here. First, first he checks. First he places a 0 here, and checks if this position is already completed. The game is already finished in this position. So is winning is true. This checks for if we are we are we but AI is winning. And in the future position, if this is if a player is winning, and if the player is winning, then if the player wins in this position, let's say the grid was like this, and the player wins in this position, we check the future, and placing a 1 year will make the player win. So we want to place a 0 here instead of a X. Yeah, we don't want the player to place X here. So that is blocking, and normal is just it just doesn't result in anyone winning in the next future right away. We because there is only one move in. We are only taking one move in the future. So first we so and normal is always assigned here. So this move should actually be moves should almost always be not null, because here we have always used normal. Yeah. So does this logic work? I should have probably reviewed this logic so I myself can explain it better. But the general concept is, yeah, we look one step in the future, and if that position is winning for us, or then we take that future, then it is a very good future, no? And if it is blocking, then also we don't. If we can't win, then we should at least block the user from winning. And if there are no moves, then it will always be normal, and normal is always here. No matter where we go, it will always choose the last square, because
We move
we are
from
covered
index one to
all
nine. Yeah.
index 1 to 9. Yes.
So the first priority for the so for the AI would be to win. The second would be to block the
Second is for
user.
block. And
Oh
last
yeah,
one is
I got
normal.
it, got it.
And since none of the position were winning or blocking, then the normal is always at the position 8 at the first. So it will always take the. So this is a very dumb AI, I should say. It will always fill up the. Maybe if I change this logic to something like wait and less greater than, then it will always this. What do you think this will do? What will
From it will go from index 8 to 0.
yeah?
And
So
I think the first,
what square will the bot
I think the
or
AI,
AI?
the first one, yeah.
Yeah, it will always pick the first available square if we do this. So first available square is this, so it picks that. If we do anything anywhere else, then it will always pick the first one. You lost. So this is just a very simple, dumb tic-tac-toe AI. It will try to win, if not block, and then it will always use the first or the last possible square, depending on how you write your code. So, and the is winning logic is just as we already discussed, checks all the possible winning cases, and if the yeah, I think we all understand that, yeah. So
Yeah.
let's so the tic-tac-toe game is almost complete, but it does have a few bugs. As I say, the first one is, of course, you can always override this bot's uh, position. If we click here, then we have already won. We shouldn't be able to just take over someone else's box in a tic-tac-toe. Okay, so let's fix that first. Let me just um, commit it. Add initial. Oh, oops. Okay. Okay. Let's try and fix the bug where we can just and yeah, we can also override our own square. So the move is just counting. Since we clicked here, it is counting as the next step. So in order to do that, we'll have to we can make an easy fix. This on tap, it takes a function, and this function should be if tiles if the current inkwell tile is a 0, then we should be able to run this function. But if it is not 0, then we just do nothing at all. Maybe we can run null or we can run an empty function. The result will be the same. So if we do that, once we do that, we can click this. Yes, we can click this, but since these two are not 0, this is 1, this is 2, we can no longer click on this because the untap handler of this inkwell is now null. Why is it not showing the this? Oh, it was showing inks before, no? Oh, I think the ink is just another bug. Huh. The ink is lost. Our ink is lost for some reason. Let me try doing this. And you can also remove the widgets from remove underscore by just control dot, and you have the option to wrap this widget or remove this widget. So you don't have to like delete this and then delete the matching parentheses here. You can just do control dot and remove this widget or swap with parent, whatever floats your boat, I guess. Now we have the ink. This is a little tricky to understand while using Inkwell. Basically, it draws ink in a material, but that material was covered by the container. So it was drawing this ink thing below the colored containers we created at first. But now we color the actual material that it shows the ink in. So now we also have the ink. If we again change this to null, then I don't think it will show ink in these things here. So there is no ink here, so it is not clickable. There is no ink. Here are inks, so they are clickable. I am clicking. Believe me, you can't click them because the code says that on tapping this inkwell, nothing should happen. Literally nothing should happen because it is null. So we have fixed one of the bugs, and you lost. And once you have lost, you can still click on the tiles still, yeah. So that's another bug. And now it was showing you lost, but now it is showing you won because before checking these this condition, it has checked this winning condition. So
So we need to check whether the computer has won,
game is
whether any
already
player has won.
yes, yeah. Um, so how to make how to fix that bug? Let's just commit this. So maybe the viewers can go to the Git and see how one of the bug was fixed. No? Uh, and fix bug out just to click hide files. So the another bug is once we are showing you won or you lost screen, then we shouldn't we the player shouldn't be able to click any other tiles after that. Yeah. So how do you think we can fix that bug? Any suggestions, Gautam?
No idea.
No idea. Okay. First of all, let's just extract this move to something nicer. We can probably do. Let me show you a neat little trick, I should say. Okay, let's just create an enum class, enum game state, and the game state can be currently playing let's say no one won, and another is player one and AI won the game. So enums are a familiar concept. I think you are familiar with enums, yes.
Oh
Enums
yeah,
are
of
just
course.
hard-coded variables. This game state can only be either of these three variables, like, or three things. Let's just say. So, and let's create a getter class, game state get state equals to uh, is winning. So if the player is winning, then it should be game state dot player one. If the CPU is winning, then it should be game state dot I won, or else it should be game state dot no one won yet. So this basically creates a getter, which is a computed value. This is also one of Dart or C like syntax, C like the languages feature. So we can state this variable and it will automatically calculate whatever logic is in this block of code. You can also change it to off. So using that enum helps us do something, helps us move this code, make this code a little bit nicer. Let's just do switch case, and in the switch case we will do current state. If we delete this, then since the current state is a enum, we can do control dot and add missing class call. So the enum can only be in these three cases here. So it automatically fills whatever the case is. And here we can assign in what should we call this variable? Game state text maybe. Game state text. To game state text equals to you. This is your move. This is you won. This is you lost.
Is no one won your move? Right? What to say? Maybe there are no more moves left.
Uh, oh, there can be another state. Yeah. So yeah, mm, playing, and another is, let's say, draw state game state. Yeah. And since we changed the enum variable, then it will show warnings now. So uh, this is playing, but before playing, we should now also check uh, if the game has already finished or all the tiles are filled with something other than zero. We can do that by uh, tiles dot any equals to zero. Uh, if there are tiles left, if any of the tiles is still zero, then we can still play the game. So it is playing, and if this any returns a boolean. So if none of the tiles are zero, then the game is already finished. That is something like, oh, I already won here. I shouldn't win. I should just draw. But I don't know how to draw. Is it? Yep. So this is the finished state. Here, none of the tiles are zero. This is one, 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 two, 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 one. So this is another game state where the game state is now draw or drawn. So no more move. And here it again shows the error because enums are a nice thing to add. Add missing case clause, and then we can, if it is playing, then we will do your move. If the game is already completed, then game state text equals to game drawn. Game was a draw. Uh, and this no one won is no longer valid. So we will just use this game state text and replace this logic here. Game state text. So it looks a little bit nicer. I guess. So it is your move. Your move. Let's just not win for now. Oh, I won. I accidentally won.
Let's win a game. Let's let the computer win
Yes,
one,
you
and
won, um, and you lost. Now, uh, oh, we only created the game state variables, but we can still click this. So now, what we can do
so
to fix this bug is, in this on tab handler, we will also check if the game is currently playable. So current state is equals to game state dot playing. If we are playing and tile is a zero, then only we can click this. Yeah, this logic sounds right. Yeah. So yeah. Mm, okay, now the AI wins. Now we can no longer click on any of these tiles as the ink is already gone. So I can also maybe show you if I have clicked or not. Only mouse utilities, enable mouse highlighter. Da, 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 da.
I think we need to check the draw state as well.
Yeah, so We need to for what?
Uh, the the game when it is drawn,
Then what should we do then?
yeah, we need to show
If
that.
the pointer shows yellow, then it means I have left click, and if shows blue, then it means I have right click that area. So right clicking doesn't do anything. This is a two-way winning for me. So yeah, you won. I already won, but it is still like another bug we have found in this logic. So what is happening is we have already won, but the computer made another move after we have won. That is because we have run set state tiles equals to 0, and then again run the AI. So it will just make another move even after we have won. So we could probably wrap this with uh, we really shouldn't be doing wrap this with
Game still not playing.
is winning after the user has made the move. Only the users should be able to win, and not future is tiles. If winning, then we don't run anything. We just return here. So this, if so, this AI thing doesn't. Once we have won, okay. Oh, it still made the move. Why did it make the move? He's winning one tiles and equals and I. If not winning, then to this yes.
I think the logic is axiomatically same in both cases.
Hmm? Yeah, it is same, but X X. Wait, now it didn't make the move. It wasn't axiomatically. It just didn't return the quick returns for some reason didn't work. Okay, maybe we'll try and fix it some other time. But now the AI doesn't make any move if the player has already won. That bug is also fixed.
Can you go with the draw game once?
Yeah, I can try, but this AI is a little dumb, you know. It doesn't want to draw. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah. This is a game drawn. And what do you think?
Voila.
Allah, yeah. And the game is drawn, then you cannot do anything else after this.
It would be nice to change the UI a little bit, but for the next work for the next session.
Yeah, we can try a little bit of responsiveness, I guess. We can in there is a orientation builder in Flutter. We can try and do that. Let's just extract this aspect ratio widget into its own widget. Just control dot and use extract widget. Let's just say game board. This may not work. I guess it will work. It's a little difficult because we are using variables in the tiles thing. No? So okay, let's do it manually. I guess wrap with builder, but builder should be orientation builder, and orientation builder has an orientation parameter. So let's just take this.
The spelling is not correct. Does that matter?
This
Orientation.
it doesn't matter. It is just
Variable.
final
Orientation.
children equals to the actual children, and we'll just do something like if orientation is equals to orientation dot landscape. If it is landscape, then we will return a row, and the children is what we copied the children variable above. So this is exactly the same as before, but if the orientation is not landscape, then it is portrait, no? So then we will return a column. This here it is not working. We can see overflow, but if we do this, then we shouldn't be seeing overflow in as many. So if it is portrait, now it will show it in a column. So yeah, uh, here the even though it is this is landscape, but here if there's very little space to show the text of this column so it is showing error. Maybe if I try and wrap this with flexible, here we go. Yeah. So this is a little bit more responsive than before, and we got to learn about a thing that helps us with responsiveness in Flutter. That is, and there are also other kind of builders. This orientation builder just give us the orientation of the device. So if it is portrait, that is the length width is greater than if it is portrait, then this side is smaller to this is landscape because height is smaller than width, and if the height is greater than the width, then it is in portrait mode.
Portrait mode. Yep.
Yeah. So we just change the row and column, but keep the same children's. And we can also go to see the horizontal and vertical arrangement of how the row and column work. Yeah. I think this should be it for our current stream.
Yeah, it's 1 hour and 48 minutes.
Yeah, maybe we will build this for the web and host it in GitHub Pages in the
Yeah,
next.
yeah. How about we fix the UI and other thing later on, in the next session, and then only we'll move towards web.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah,
So
that's great. So
okay, you won. Yeah, we can also and okay, the viewers can play along with this themselves. Let me just commit this, and you can try it. The viewers, you are welcome to try the code, check out the code, and maybe make the text nicer, I guess.
you
Maybe you
can
can
send the
try
PRs.
changing the styling of this text. Maybe you won will be in green and you lost will be yellow. You are welcome to make pull requests if you want. Add commit more bugs. The response in stream one. So I guess this is it for today,
Yeah,
and you can always check out the stream
GitHub
GitHub.
stream. Yeah.
With my
So,
computer hang or something.
okay, I'll go for food now.
Okay, have a good day, Sanjit. I, you know what? happen here. Okay, signing off. I'm Srisan Sake. It was a pleasure to have you. And keep pushing in your journey to learning Flutter. And yeah, that's it. Bye bye from skilllessness.